Good morning, viewers. I, Rahul Bhandari from Yuva Accessibility Bhopal, welcome you all to the YI Bhopal presents the Yuva Talks on the topic Future with the Inclusion of Differently Abled. I welcome all the panelists for today. Thank you all for joining in to discuss the very important topic which needs to be put forward. We are happy as the youth to always see the support from Dr. Anuj Garg sir, YI Bhopal chair, who has always supported and guided us. Thank you, sir, for joining in for today's session. We are also very happy to have with us Mrs. Geet Nagpal ma'am, YI Yuva Chair Bhopal. Ma'am, your support for the Yuva has always been constant, and we feel very lucky to have you with us today. I would request you, ma'am, to please share your views on today's session and the topic Future with the Inclusion of Differently Abled.
Thank you, Rahul. The same here. I feel honored to be a part of Yuva. You all are the driving force, and actually, you have proved it. Even in this difficult scenario, you all are putting so much efforts on different case studies, your awareness sessions, and videos that it is really commendable. And today, as it's not even Yuva Bhopal, but many Yuvas from different chapters have joined us, and I feel really esteemed. And today's heroes are you. So you all speakers have like today's virtual mic, your today's virtual stage is all yours, and the topic you have chosen for today is really very sensitive and touchy. So definitely I would support you all, and I'm eager to listen your thoughts and all your views on this topic. So I'm impatient to listen all of you. So all the virtual stage is yours. Off to you. All the best to all the speakers.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words, and thank you so much for your support and time that you have joined in with us today. Yuva is always known to speak out loud on the very core and important topics. And today we have with us Yuva from different parts of the country, united together to share our views. Once again, I would like to welcome our Yuva panelists for today Jilsyon Kapoor from Bombay, Reshma Hake from Pune, Nancy Sahu from Lucknow, Kushagra Khare from Chennai, Apoorv Singh from Delhi, Shivi Dubey from Bhopal, and Diksha Akankshi from Bhopal. So, to begin with, I would like to request Jilsyon Kapoor to give your opening remarks on the topic. Yes, Jilsyon.
Hello, everyone. A warm good morning to the dignitaries and other panelists. My name is Jilsyon Kapoor. I feel very privileged and honored to be a part of this discussion on the topic Future with Inclusion of Differently Abled People. Talking about differently abled, the word itself forms a clear enough image in our minds about how a differently abled person should or would look like. Talking about this, our first instinct would come out to be either changing the topic or shrugging in disgust. Less than a handful of people actually prefer to talk about or make an attempt in understanding them. Everybody admires Stephen Hawking, but who want to be friends with an autistic Raju, right? Before I present my views on this topic, I'd like to talk about the existing provisions. Education, uniform, teaching facilities, materials, books, etc. is all available from the government side for free till the age of 18 or so, as they say about the integrated or special schools. But if taken a reality check, just like any other government paperwork, these provisions too are made for sure, but they do not reach the population, at least not on time. So, keeping aside the education and uniforms, these people need social interaction the most. Efforts should be made to make them socially aware, comfortable to the surroundings. As the name suggests, specially able need special guidance to become comfortable and to warm up in their surroundings and live like any other normal human being. Undergoing depression and self-doubt would be a starter for some, while being a victim of suicidal thoughts and voices for other. Keeping this in mind, the government should host or sponsor some therapies and sessions for the crowd. Interactive sessions like getting to know people, making new friends would be a good start. This could help in building their confidence and self esteem. Also, considering the fact that seeing a disabled person in public might cause disgust in some people, nationwide therapies should be organized for all kinds and ages of people to know and learn and respect them equally as the kind and kindly as the saying goes. It takes two to tango. Also, apart from therapies, education, and uh, facilities, etc., job opportunities and career guidance programs would be a good start. This way, they would actually warm up and bring out their skills and be comfortable with themselves and be confident among themselves. After all, specially able are specially gifted too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jilseo. You keeping your words matters the most for us, joining and keeping your thoughts. Literally, it is very helpful to have such a Yuva panelist with us to discuss the things so openly and to share the thoughts. Thank you so much. And up next, we have Apur Singh. So, Apur, I request you to please share your views.
A very good morning to everyone. I'm
Apur,
Apoor Singh. Uh,
yes,
a
Apur.
very good morning. Yeah. A very good morning to everyone. I'm Apoor Singh and I'm from Delhi. So I believe when we think of a better future with equality, liberty, and all the freedom we have ever wished for, we just cannot exclude any section of our society, and hence cannot even exclude differently abled people in that matter. The definition of differently able people is somewhat, I guess, is not right. It is not challenge people who are challenged with one or more part of their bodies. They are source of motivation, they are source of inspiration. These people use their ability and teach all humankind that our abilities are beyond our capabilities. So if you try to use our physical and mental being to beyond our comfort zone, they teach us this. Even though a lot of differently able people get resources, it's hard for them to survive. Lack of inclusivity is one of the main challenges they face. It's so rare to find differently able politicians, actors, etc. There have been instances when they are denied jobs for which they are even like more qualified or more eligible. So these people have even reached the peak of Mount Everest and can excel in every job they want to pursue. I guess one of the ways how we can help them at an individual level is to talk more about their issues, their rights, and give them a platform to voice their opinion. It is very important to understand that a differently able person is a lot more than someone on a wheelchair. They have such unique set of perspective and abilities which cannot be overlooked. Being differently able should not be their identity. It's a part of their life. It should not define who they are as a person. I mean, so we as a society should help them in every bit we can and make them feel no different than anyone of us from the society.
Thank you, Apoor. Totally agreed with you that we should help them and we should definitely do something to guide them as well. Thank you so much. So, up next is Reshma. I would request you, Reshma, to please put forward your views on the topic.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, yes, Reshma.
Okay, yeah. First of all, good morning, everyone. I'm Reshma Hake from Pune. And another thing is, I would like to thank you, sir, ma'am, and the entire UR team for giving us an opportunity to speak our mind. Today, we are discussing a topic, which is not discussed very often, or rather, I would say, not discussed at all, because not every one of us can relate to it or like understand its depthness. So it is high time that we take action and utilize the unutilized talent, because we are the yuva. People with physical or mental health conditions, they are differently abled because they possess a unique set of abilities and perspectives. Everybody has ability and everybody matters. It is all about acknowledging it. Oftentimes, differently able people, they see what we can't, they hear what we can't, and think what we can't. This makes the ability different, not inferior, not superior, just different. And I think they are the storehouse of talent. They can achieve and are achieving their goals and dreams. Here, I would like to name a few of them who have defied all the odds that life threw at them and turned the spotlight on themselves through their achievements. First one is Ira Sanghi, who became the first physically challenged woman to top the IAS exam just few years back. The next person about whom I'm going to speak is Sudha Chandran. I know you all must have seen her on television. She lost her leg in an accident, but that didn't stop her from becoming an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer and a very talented actress. And yes, how can I not mention the man who told us so much about the black hole, Hawking radiation, and so many other things? The Stephen Hawking. What a great man he was. History will remember him. These people and their achievements, they have only proven that disability is just, a state of mind and nothing else. And I call them the eighth wonder of the world. And I can say all this because I have seen it. My brother, he is differently abled. He's a special child. He is deaf and mute. But that doesn't stop him from from doing anything which you or me can do, but he cannot do. No. He's like, far more better than any of us. And I know when given an opportunity, nobody can stop them from making this world a more beautiful place. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reshma. The names you have mentioned are such eminent personalities that we learn from them and we try to become like them because they have such energy and they share so much positive vibes with everyone. So that's great that you mentioned everyone in the session. So up next is Shivi Dubey. I request Shivi, please share your views.
Good morning, everyone. I am Shivi Dubey from Bhopal. So, what question floods your mind when a loved one is diagnosed with a medical condition? What does the future hold for them? How will they cope up in the real world? How do they deal with the world being so different and often unaccepted? The term disabled is often associated with the people diagnosed with different kinds of mental and physical conditions. The term cannot be stated as incorrect, but are we right calling them so? The first thing to be made clear is that people aren't and shouldn't be labeled as anything. Least of all, disabled. Who they are as a person isn't impacted by a medical condition, and it surely doesn't contribute to their identity. Even if they lack some ability, they have something that makes them specially abled. Exclusion of any type disconnects individuals from social relations and puts a limit on their full participation in activities that are assigned by society according to norms and conventions. What little thing we can do for them is to offer them an equal platform by addressing them by an inclusive term, for example, specially abled or differently abled. Inclusion is a belief, it is not a project or a program, but a philosophy. Inclusion means respect for you, for me, and for everyone. Inclusion sees us as a person, sees that we exist, and same goes for them who are specially abled. A socially inclusive environment is one where everyone is welcomed and permitted to establish their identities and express their views and feelings. It ensures that one's opinion and experiences are honored like everyone else. When people experience these conditions, they are more likely to be happier and healthier. Owing to the lack of knowledge, educational access and technology, disabled children were initially treated as unwanted and segregated from other children. Later, their education was carried out in special schools that we already know. Then, in recent times, now there has been a shift towards having children with disabilities attend the same school as non-disabled children. The educationists now feel that each child should be allowed to learn in his own way. So, looking at the future perspective of this issue, it is very important for differently abled to work. Nobody gives you anything, not even a free advice. Then, how can we expect that somebody gives financial aid to them? The specially abled must start working even if they earn a small amount. At least that will give them a confidence to do something. At least they can lead a life with self respect, and after all, economic independence is a real empowerment. Amidst the lockdown, there is some there is something that a lot of us might have not given a much thought to: how the differently abled community is coping with it. How are they getting through the day given the new reality of lockdown? Let's face it, a lockdown like situation is only going to complicate their lives tenfold. By now, it is a common knowledge that COVID 19 is extremely dangerous for people underlying health conditions. The WHO, which is currently the forefront of the COVID 19 responses, spoke about how people with disabilities are the most vulnerable to contacting with the virus purely because of the specific disabilities and chronic conditions they already might have. For now, it is of utmost importance that we educate ourselves and others to provide them equal status, opportunities in education and employment, and to encourage them to stand independently. It is also of equal significance to spread more and more awareness about the fact that they might be differently abled, but they are not different from us. Looking at the efforts put into making the differently abled a significant part in our society, I surely believe that in future they will be rendered the same respect and acceptance that anyone would receive. In this context, the government, I think this is my point of view, that the government must aim at launching an accessible, dedicated portal for the differently able to disseminate the information related to the programs and the policies enforced for them. In conclusion, I would only say that it is not a one day process, neither is it easy to achieve. It needs the consideration of every single individual to see the specially abled as the integral part of the society and treat them equally with respect, love, and equivalence. Thank you.
That's great, Shivi. Literally, they might be differently abled, but not different from us. I would like to quote it again. And you kept the meaning of inclusion perfectly and the integrity you mentioned. It's the true meaning that we should definitely include them as equality. We should not treat them differently. And yes, they are differently able, but they are not less capable than us. They are more capable. They know how to work on the things and they know how to achieve them. So that's the thing which you mentioned, and we all agree with that. So up next is Kushagra Khare. Kushagra, I would like to request you to please keep your views on the topic.
Good morning, everyone on the panel. I am Kushal Khare and I am from Chennai. So, I would firstly ask myself what is differently abled in its true sense, in my understanding. The only thing that comes to my mind is all the opinions of other people. Like, first of all, one might say it's a condition, a mental or physical, or some people may contradict it. But for me, it's just some other guy who is able with something which I'm not, who is differently able, not disabled in its true sense, and he or she might be tackling with it and getting stronger day by day. Because one thing I have noticed from my personal experience that I have never seen a disabled person or differently abled person whining about it ever, and who have accomplished something in their life, and this truly inspires me. And what is wrong with calling them disabled is our mentality. We need to change that. First of all, we need to set an example of acceptance, because we along with them are the future of this country. So first of all, acceptance from our side is a key factor for their as well as our development, and directly not being judgmental on their note is the best thing we can do. And making institutions more and more efficient with them, because in like statistics says that there are schools which are for differently disabled people, but there are not efficient colleges for higher studies for their improvement and their development along the way. And not it's not about finding what's suitable for them, but making them capable to work. And there and then ultimately there comes in the factor of equity between them and us, because equality would be injustice to them, because if you provide same amenities to a differently able person, then it would be injustice to him, because equity is a factor which might lead to some distortion. Sorry, equality would lead to some distortion in future, because equity would be our most good bet on providing good factors to them, and making suitable educational institutions, training institutions for them would be just fine. And at the end, I would say optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. It was said by Helen Keller.
A great quote to end your remarks, Kushagra. We feel very happy to hear you, and the points which you mentioned regarding the healthcare were really important. So, up next is Nancy Howe. I would request Nancy, please speak your opening remarks.
Thank you so much for your recognition, sir. A very warm good morning to everyone connected to us. I'm Nancy Sahu from Lucknow. Disability is a matter of actually perception. If you can do just one thing well, you are needed by someone. Is said by Martina Navratilova. As for disability, it has already been discussed by my previous members and also very well known by everyone. But for me, disability is just a way of getting some type of extremity, some kind of difficult situation that throws an interesting light on a pupil, if and only if the person is ambitious. That is the major reason why we are called them differently abled than disabled. I hereby take the talk to further of the major issues that is being faced by the differently abled people. The first and the foremost problem that arises to a disabled and a differently able people is that they look down upon to themselves and more often they hesitate to come across the problem. This is due to the behavior of the pupil when they see a disabled person, passing on the comments, creating obstructions, and making many more ill practices are generally prevailing. If, as a yoga, we put a full stop to all these malpractices by just generally supporting the disabled person, it will definitely going to help their confidence building. And this is a very first step to be taken for the inclusion of differently abled people. One of the major issues faced by differently abled is the large number of disabilities that are preventable, including those which are arising due to medical issues. For example, birth, if we wanted to go to the maternal conditions, malnutrition, as well as accidents and injuries. That these can be cured, but the health sector, especially in rural India, has failed to react proactively to disability. Further, there are lack of affordable access to proper healthcare aids and appliances. This can only be cured when preventive health programs are strengthened and all the children are screened at the young age. Comprehensive newborn screening CNS program is launched in Lucknow, which is put it down for action, which seeks early identification of defects in infants and reduce the state's burden of disability in Lucknow. Secondly, the education system is not very inclusive. Inclusion of children with mild to moderate disability in regular schools has remained a major challenge. There are various issues such as availability of special schools, access to schools, trained teachers, and availability of educational materials for a disabled person. Further, reservations for the disabled in higher educational institution has also not been fulfilled completely. To cope up with this, state-wise strategies on education for children with special needs need to be devised. There should be proper teacher training to address the needs of differently abled children and facilitate their inclusion in regular schools. Further, there should be more special schools and insurance of educational material for differently abled children on time to time. Going to employment, even though many differently abled adults are capable of productive work, they have far lower employment rates than the general population. The situation is even worse in private sector. Compulsorily making quota for them can prove to be an option for this. Physical accessibility in buildings, transportations, access to services, etc., still remain a major challenge. Safety measures like road safety, safety in residential areas, public transport system, etc., should also be taken in consideration. Further, it should be made legally binding by the government to make all the buildings disabled friendly. The lack of rigorous and comparable data and statistics further hinders their inclusion into the public. Poor implementation of policies and schemes hinders the inclusion of differently abled people. To cope up with this, proper implementation of schemes should be ensured. With that, there should be a proper monitoring mechanisms and accountability of public funds which is raised for them. People with disabilities need to be better integrated into the society by overcoming the stigma that is prevailing in our minds, actually. Helping other pupils also at their level to open and express their concerns when it comes to dealing with these types of people is also one of the major issues that, as a Yuva, we should promote. There should be awareness campaigns to educate and aware people around the different countries also, providing mentorship to them so that they can achieve everything in life that what generally a normal people can get is one of the major steps that we can actually do. Success stories can also be told and showcased time to time to inculcate positive attitudes among these people. Another initiative is taken by Cheshire House and Rainbow Society in Lucknow is making differently able people self-dependent and financially stable. If all of these are remembered, I think so the sun is going to be bright in future for all the differently able people. And it is going to be really soon. If we were going to do it more often. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Lucknow is doing an awesome job for the differently abled people. I hope everyone should learn from Lucknow and should implement these programs in the other cities as well. We are noting the points and definitely we will put these points in front of the government so to imply these points in the other cities as well. Thank you so much, Nancy. Up next, we have Diksha Akangshi. I would request you, Diksha, to please put forward your views.
A very warm good morning to all the dignitaries and the panelists present over here. For today's discussion, the topic is inclusion of the differently able and its future perspectives. But first of all, what we need to understand is what exactly differently abled is. Firstly, we need to understand and analyze the fact that if they have one of their senses impaired, that definitely means that God has gifted them with the other senses a bit more powerful than ourselves. We need to utilize that in a proper manner. Everybody speaks of equality for the women, for the children, for the elderly. But where do these differently abled brothers and sisters go? Where does the government fail in the fact when it comes to these people? I agree to the fact that everybody of us will contribute to it. The government has various steps induced for that. It contributes majorly to that. But somewhere or the other, there lies a lack due to which either they do not get the facilities or we are unable to provide it to them. But first of all, what we need to understand is a fish and a monkey both cannot climb the tree efficiently. We need to provide them with exactly the same features which they require in order to get equality. providing them with the equal features in the same schools as where the normal children, so-called normal children go, it provides them perfect opportunities. I agree to that. But after everything, we also need to understand and get it digested into ourselves that they need a bit more proper facilities so that they can express themselves properly. Taking up to the steps taken by the government, they are completely flawless and they are contributing it to them. But there lies one negative aspect in this. What about the people who are themselves not willing to do that? We cannot force anybody and like completely go behind them ki no, you need to do this. A bit of self motivation also needs to induced in them so that they come up with better things and better thoughts and better processes by which they can outshine themselves in this competitive world. Coming up to the various corporate sectors and etc and various other fields related to that, various industries, companies, corporations are taking steps in order to promote them, to include them, to have them among us so that they do not need to be called differently abled. Why do they need to call differently abled? Are they really? Take up any example as was quoted some time ago about Sudha Chandranji. She has been completely trained as a perfect Bharatnatyam dancer and she can completely outshine anybody of the professional dancers too. Up to a certain time, honestly, I even did not had realized that she was suffering with such an injury and such a disability. But on a later stage, it gives us also a great inspiration that we also realize the fact that even those people are outshining themselves. Here, what we need to keep in mind is that we should give them proper ways, proper methods, and we should give them a bit of motivation also. Take up any example about a friend of yours, any example. A friend of yours who is a bit disabled or differently abled, we would say, that suits them better. If you need any help, they will definitely be there for you. So why can't we be there for them? We need to understand that so as we need help at certain moments and certain incidents of our life, they must have faced something which has led to such grievous consequences, and as a result of which, we need to provide them with a bit of love and a bit of more motivation by which they can prove themselves, and they will definitely come up over us. So, at last, this is all what I had to say, and a bit more emphasis on giving them proper methods and having them completely included among us, not to say any kind of differently able, but they are completely as able as we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diksha. So, a little bit of motivation and proper methods would do the justice and would bring out the change in the world. So, I already feel the energy by listening to your remarks and everyone's views. So, ma'am, what do you think after listening to their opening remarks? The full of energy is there.
Surely, Rahul, I'm seriously thrilled to listen all of you. You have really worked so hard. You have taken out so many studies and your thoughts were really amazing. I'm really very, very thrilled to listen to all of you and very rightly said by all of you, like Shubhi and Diksha and Anupama. Everybody was really amazing. And as Anupama said that she's already, having one of his brother who's physically not able, but very nice. You all have put your thoughts in a right direction and all your views were really amazing. The panelist from Lucknow, she kept so many uh, things that already Lucknow is doing for these people. And what we all can do, even in this scenario, everybody's facing like a mental disorder or they are not mentally stable. So even if the person is not physically able, but if he is mentally fit, that gives a big advantage to him, like the capabilities and determination that actually matters. In this scenario also, even like a normal person is facing all that mental disorders and mentally they're not stable. So what we can do is we can help them with their mental peace and this thing, so that they can work. And inclusion and exclusion, I think it should not be dependent on the society, it should be dependent on their capability, on their firm decision, on their determination, what they can do, even we can do. And in this scenario, I think virtually what we can do is even they can do. And lots of positivity we can give to them, with which they can grow well and they can pursue a normal lifestyle. So thank you all of you. I'm really very happy to listen all of your thoughts and views. Now it's over to you, Rahul. We can put some questions to them. Thank you once again to all the panelists.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much, ma'am, for your
happy.
words and for the motivation for the Yuva panelists out there with us. So, I would like to ask you all that, according to you, what challenges do you feel that differently abled people are going through during this current pandemic? Like already discussed earlier, it is very difficult for us to understand that how the differently abled people are going through during this pandemic. So, what are your views?
As we all know, this pandemic has brought drastic change to people's life. I mean, for differently able people, it is even tough because there are certain guidelines to follow to be safe from this catastrophic disease. I mean, they face problem in following social distancing, using sanitizer, wearing mask, and whatnot. I mean, and this could be really very problematic for them uh, to follow. And in this pandemic, who can they ask help for? I mean, it is always dangerous to ask or to come in contact with anyone. And as I have already mentioned, it's hard for them to find jobs already, and they might be the first one to lose a job in this era of pandemic and economic recession. So on this basis, saying that these people are the most vulnerable part of our society in this pandemic would not be wrong.
All of us know that actually we all faced problems in COVID. Along with us, especially able also faces some challenges and opportunities also in 2020. The transition to the new ways of working in contacts with global pandemic with far-reaching societal and economical implications is being processed. Many persons with disabilities coming to COVID-19 crisis already facing exclusion in all areas of the world of work. The pandemic resulting economic shocks to them at the result, along with being facing to the inequalities also. The widespread acceptance of working from home and the use of video conferencing technologies in some instances made people's working lives easier. However, these same things can also cause issues and frustration. According to World Health Organization, only 1 in 10 people with disabilities have access to assistive technology that they need to be successful to work in this online era. On the other hand, for some people with special abilities, avoiding commuting to work every day, opening up a range of jobs they can perform from work, having a setup conducive to the special needs at home encourages them to be more friendly with the work environment. With, with everyone working from home, they can feel as much as a part of work, they can perform productively. Accessibility to digital tools, well-being support, and creating an environment of empathy are some of the key areas that we as a Yuva should promote for differently able people in every way that we actually do. To enable everyone to productive, we need to build the technologies which is inclusive, accessible, and committed to empowering people with disabilities. For example, various other devices was developed by the people in Kerala, which is should be promoted to reach the every disabled person across the world. So, as a Yuva member, we can do that. The all the devices and things will be available to differently able people, so that their working capacity, their interaction, their enthusiasm towards the work will thereby goes increasing and increasing in COVID-19, so that they doesn't left back. They will cope up with us. So this must be the first step for inclusion to them in COVID-19.
I think in the current situation of the global health crisis due to COVID-19, from the bridging gap, we would like to emphasize the higher risk faced by person with disabilities on chronic illness, especially in the low and middle income countries. In order to successfully meet this challenge and comply with the different agendas, person with disabilities must be included in all plans to manage the current COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak. Um, this implies that the information provided by government and the institutions, both to prevent infections and to know how to act in cases of illness, must be available in accessible formats, including sign languages, video captioning, and use of alternative text and images and graphics displayed digitally and easy to read versions, especially for the differently abled people who have the issues or who have some kind of problems with understanding the general languages which we present. It is also important to remove the barriers that group faces in accessing health services and hygiene products, as well as to consider reasonable accommodation measures to allow them to work from home, and if that is not possible, to ensure they receive a paid leave to guarantee their income. Similarly, confinement measures should be adapted to the needs of specific groups to ensure their well-being. For example, people who need home assistance should keep receiving it, and in the case of the persons with the psychological disabilities, they cannot be required to live in the total isolation. In the battle against COVID-19, it is also essential to follow the motto, um, nothing about us without us. Persons with disabilities, through their representative organizations, are the ones who can better advise the political authorities to include the disabilities dimensions in the preventions, mitigations, and monitoring plans related to these diseases. And most importantly, we can fight coronavirus together. Do not leave the person with disabilities behind. That's it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for putting your views on this question. And I do believe that we should not leave them behind. We should take them with us, and we should tell them what all precautions can be taken during the COVID-19. So, thank you so much, everyone.
One more question.
Ma'am,
Like,
yes,
yeah, Rahul. So, again, one question that
yes, ma'am.
is apt for this situation. So, in the future, what role would technology will play to overcome the needs of differently abled? Should I repeat the question?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Question is very clear. Technology for a long time is working, like making their life easier and like more like um, even better. So technology is like always upgrading in their favor. Like as we see, there are artificial hands, artificial legs, and fingers in that matter, and hearing aid. So these are all which are actually helping them now. But these are not available in a like to everyone. So technology will improve in that matter. Or we can even see like a proper biological leg to be made in laboratory and be added in their bodies. So in future we will see a lot of technology working in their favor, and their life will be very very easier. So yeah, this we can see.
Yeah, I also completely agree with the point that since we can see the technology upgrading day by day, and it has been very helpful, especially in today's condition where we are all locked in our houses, it is really being so helpful. We can have these kind of virtual meetings and present our views. And similarly, it can also help the differently abled people only and only if people also think about them. We need to take them together with us. We all should have this mentality of looking towards them similarly, those in the same way as we look towards everyone else. So obviously, being us being engineers and the technology can definitely help them in making up different apps, also in making different portals which can help them to get the informations and also the laws and the rules made by government, the policies for them. So it can be quite easy if technology also includes in this in an active manner.
Yes, I agree with both of you. Technology will, surely play a huge role in this, and you never know, we might get some, Jarvis for them kind of thing. And the properly designed softwares and the hardwares might allow the students with special needs to get the modern education. And with the better assistive technology in the future might help them to lead a more independent life. And after this pandemic, we can expect a new world of education for the differently able people. If we can take from this pandemic. Yeah, that's all.
I agree with you all, and I would like to add something to it that there could be a DNA coding too. So yeah, if we code the DNA, then
Yeah.
we could cure that differently abled condition in like some time too. And what if we are able to cure that too? That would be a very good thing, I guess. And if that's not possible, then we engineers will work on it. We can create biotic arms and also making a life-sized Iron Man robot so that they could work. Or like artificial eyes, which can directly give signals to the brain to create the image. So yeah, these are my points. And technology will play a very huge role in future.
Just
After
discussing
all the
about the
points that have
existing.
been stated, I'd like to just add one point that after everything, all lies in us. We need to take up proper methods and proper technology has already been developed, I believe, because this pandemic has been really productive for all of us. We must have definitely found out some sort of great technologies in some part of the world by which at least we, if not completely improve the conditions for the differently able, but we can at least improve a bit, at least to 5 to 10 percentage of what the condition exactly is today. We can at least improve it to a bit so that their living conditions, their standards improve to a different level, and they themselves have a bit of confidence among themselves. Yes, they themselves also have capabilities and they can prove it to the world.
Adding one more point regarding the existing technology that we forget is stem cell reproduction. Using the stem cells, we can reproduce their organs by the technology for the development of the things that they are disabled in. But besides this, technology is being gonna expensive. I think so that government should do funds, and we also should contribute to lay down the cost of this disability so that they can also witness a better future for them. I remember
So,
continue.
thank you everyone for sharing your views on this question. I guess the views on the technology were really important. The biotic arm and the DNA coding and a future Jarvis can play a role in this. So I really hope that these things should come in the future and help the differently abled people in the positive manner. So thank you everyone. So my next question to you guys is that what steps should be taken by the government to generate the employment amongst the differently abled people? Like we have always seen the employability has been going down. So how to generate that?
I would,
There are various efforts that could be. Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
am I audible? Yeah, okay. There are various efforts and steps that could be taken by the government. I think starting from preference would be a good start, like preferring qualification and passion over experience, and preferring young people who aspire to do more in a given time would be a nice way to employ more people. Also, there are industrial psychologists that help recruit such kind of people. So, along with that, another step that could be taken is uplifting or lifting the age barriers or flexibility of the criterias that they make for recruiting new people. This way, the differently abled or specially able people will be more comfortable, more confident, and they'd be really warming up to the environment and be confident of themselves, have a self-esteem.
According to me, adding few more points, the government should create groups and associations also to train and empower differently abled adults with employable skills, also helping them to polish their skills which they are experts in, so that so that their abilities will come out beyond their disabilities, so that their disabilities ratio should go down. So the if government start doing this, then the employability ratio should definitely gonna increase. Besides that, quota for them should be organized not only in public sector but also in private sector, because private sector generally doesn't own these people. Along with that, public sector just does not have the infrastructure for the differently able people. For example, having steps according for the differently able people. Sign languages were also generally not used where they must be used. So the government emphasizes on using the sign languages for them, using the steps commendations, and making compulsory infrastructure, which is definitely being used by a differently able. Then it will definitely going to help the differently able person, and definitely going to increase the ratio of the employment they actually want, and also definitely going to help the increase of confidence of differently able person. Uh, that's my point.
So adding to this, I just want to say government is already providing positions in government jobs. What government is required to do is they should make some laws to open scope for differently abled people in private sector. I mean, because they face so many social stigmas and discrimination. And as we talk to empower every oppressed section of our society, government should provide a suitable working environment and all the facilities to make their work life convenient and suitable. And adding to this, I just want government to make special jobs for them, like training centers for differently able people, and in that centers trainers will be differently able people who are experienced and who know a lot, like successful differently able people. So this can this can like this can open scope for people who don't know what they can do, and they can like motivate and inspire them. So this is something which government should do.
So thank you so much everyone for your views on the technology, the employment, the education, the health sector. I guess everyone has covered everything in this, and your views on the topic were really important. So thank you so much everyone for joining in for today's discussion. Thank you so much Geet ma'am for joining in. Thank you so much Anuj sir for your support. And I feel the energy from the Yuva coming forward, and definitely these views are really important for the people of the society, and we will definitely put forward these views in front of everyone. Ma'am, what you would like to say on the remarks of the students?
I would like to thank you all for these numerous ideas. I think this was a endless talk. When I just heard the topic, I thought this is just a small topic and we would finish it up in just half an hour or so. But when we started putting up questions to you, you all like, when I kept the question on technology, I find that you all gave so much justice to the technology that technology was a small word for you all. You all kept so many ideas and DNA and stem cell and what not you all were thinking on that. So that was commendable. And thank you so much. It was so interesting to listen to you all. And all the best for your futures. I know you all will shine one day, and all the best for your futures.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in.
So I would like to say
And
something.
yes.
So, I would like to thank you, the Yuva team, sir, for giving us this opportunity, because, today's youth is like, they want to express, but they are not getting the correct platform to express their views. So, this is a very nice initiative, sir. Thank you for this.
Thank you so much, Reshma, for your support and for making this platform a more beautiful one by expressing the views to everyone. Thank you so much, Anuj sir, for giving us this opportunity for organizing such a beautiful session for everyone on such a very important topic, inclusion of differently abled in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
So Rahul, thank you so much. I am at Balkhedi village, and we have an event of rural. So I was in between listening in my car about the event and the very good thoughts shared by all the participants. And I think this is very important that Yuva becomes the voice to lead accessibility ahead. Thank you, Geet, for organizing all this, and Rahul, thank you for hosting us. A big thanks to Jellison, Reshma, Nancy, Apurv, Shivi, Kushagr, and Diksha for coming in and sharing your views. Together as a country, we can make this voice at all levels, at all cities, and at around us. So, thank you so much for being here, and looking forward for raising this voice, so that which is very important for young Indians. So, thank you so much. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining in for the wonderful session. Thank you so much, sir.
So, are we all done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, can we make one sign language before we leave? Can we make a heart? Okay, I will try. Priyansh, you need to come and hold this. Thank you.
So once again, thank you so much everyone for joining in for today's session.